This week on Let's Fish TV, I'm jumping on Pickwick Lake right after a mass amount of rain. When it rains on the Tennessee River, that means two things: current and dirty water. We've got a bunch of both. One thing about it is the fish are supposedly biting. I can't wait to get out there and catch a few of those nice largemouth bass. Not quite sure how we're gonna catch them yet, but I can tell you one thing: we're definitely gonna give it our best and have a lot of fun doing it. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Pickwick Lake, located right on the border of Tennessee and Alabama. This is a part of the Tennessee River chain. It has over 490 miles of shoreline and 43,000 acres of water. I bet it has a few more acres of water now just because the lake is so high. But I can tell you one thing, guys, this thing is full of largemouth bass, and that's what we're going after today. Not really sure how we're gonna catch them, but I know for a fact we're gonna put some of those nice bass in the boat. We'll also have this week's fishing report for your local region from our insider reporters. This week we're fishing out of the Low Stinger 198 bass boat. And I'm gonna tell you guys, this thing is loaded with all the good stuff. Has a really wide beam, it handles rough water well. It's a really nice aluminum bass boat. I think you would really like it. I tell you, the thing I probably like the most is just how wide it is. You can put 2 to 3 people on the front deck and fish with ease. And this is just a 19-foot boat. And you can't really say that about a lot of aluminum boats out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this boat launched, get it in the water, and I'm gonna toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hey everybody, so great to see you again. The Solunar tables are indicating that this is the best weekend of the month to get out and fish. We'll have excellent game fish activity for both days this weekend. Peak daytime hours begin late morning around 10:56 on Saturday and 11:53 on Sunday. The best nighttime fishing will begin after 11:21 on Saturday and midnight on Sunday night. Depending on where you are, expect the sun to rise around 6:47 and set around 8:22. Fishing at night will be very dark, and we will have a new moon this weekend. We'll be right back to check all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area. Plus, I will return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Drew Benton on this week's Ask the Pro feature. Stay with us.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors, making it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Power Pole, total boat control. Visit Mississippi, good times are close by. Low Boats, 50 years of boating craftsmanship. Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Ooh, Thunder Cricket. Made a little adjustment, started fishing these docks with moving baits. Caught another nice bass. Oh, there we go. Oh, man, what a bite right there. Oh, stay buttoned up. Please stay buttoned up. Oh man, here we go. Ooh, there we go. When in doubt, tie you on a KVD 1.5, put a bass in the boat. Today, guys, we're on Pickwick Lake. As you can tell, the water's super dirty and it's muddy and it's high, but these are the kind of bass that you definitely can catch when you're out here on Pickwick. We're actually following up a massive storm. I was really struggling to get a bite. I really was. And, I started thinking, okay, what can I do to cause a reaction strike, especially around docks? And that's when I pick up a square bill crankbait. Today, I'm throwing it in a chartreuse black color and deflecting it on the docks. Well, right now, there's a ton of current on Pickwick. So when this current's running down the lake, what it's gonna do is it creates these little eddies behind the dock. So what you wanna do is cast up in the current and bring your bait with the current, and that's the kind of bass you're gonna catch. Could you come flip a jig here? Could you go do some other things? Absolutely. But that square bill day in and day out is gonna get you nice bites just like this one.
Gulf Coast fishing is great for a wide variety of fish. I'll be right back with all the fishing details, but first this from our good friends at Foreshore Transportation. This part of the program is brought to you by Foreshore Transportation, the simple solution to all your freight hauling needs. Foreshore can ship freight across the country or across the state. Whatever the load, wherever the destination, Foreshore gets it done fast, safe, and hassle-free. Captain Tim Cuddy at St. Simon's Island in southeast Georgia says the slow-running tides have been excellent for flounder, redfish, and sea trout. He's catching some other species too, but that's his primary target area. He's slow-rolling jigs. These are 1/4 ounce saltwater type jigs with a grub, but the grub he prefers is the Gulp 4-inch swimming mullet. He likes that the scent that bait gives off, and also a little bit of action. He says that he's having some really good big days on spotted sea trout, sometimes catching 100 fish in a day. That's an awful lot of sea trout. Tim also says that the tarpon fishing has been outstanding around the shrimp boats. This is along the beach areas is primarily where the tarpon are being caught. There's also sharks there too, but it's the tarpon they're really keying on. That fishing will get better right on through the summer. Tim says that a lot of people think when the shrimp boats come in close that and the sharks come in with them that the triple tail just disappear. But that's not true. The triple tail are still there. Tim says that there's plenty of good triple tail fishing available on the beaches now in southeast Georgia. But if you want big triple tail, the place to go is Mobile, Alabama. In Mississippi, it's still spotted sea trout fishing. It's getting to be an old record there, but this is one of the great years for spotted sea trout in Mississippi. They're catching them primarily around Horn and Cat Island. The south side of the island is where there's big redfish now too. Well, that's it for the southeast coast. Get down the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
Good one. Oh my gosh, that's a good one there. Oh yeah. Check this one out, guys. Oh, there we go. Ooh, thunder cricket. Check that out, guys. Made a little adjustment, started fishing these docks with moving baits. Caught another nice bass, this time on the thunder cricket. As you can see here, I've got a big trailer, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly why you want to make your offering a little bit larger when you're throwing a thunder cricket. So on Pickwick, like most Tennessee River lakes, has a ton of big gizzard shad. Gizzard shad can measure anywhere from 4 to 12, 14 inches long. So the bigger the bait, the more likely you are to match the hatch of those gizzard shad and put nice bass in the boat. This lake is stocked full of them, and most Tennessee River lakes are. You know, one thing about it, if you notice here, I'm throwing a thunder cricket with a white blade, not a silver blade. It's a white and chartreuse, so the blade's actually white. So one thing about it, whenever fishing gets a little tough and they've seen a lot of baits, that white doesn't throw the flash, but it still has the vibration coming through the water, and it makes one big silhouette of a white bait. And that's the kind of bites you're gonna get when you throw this. And if you look at this dock right here, this dock is down current. This is a floating dock. It's one of only very few floating docks down through here. It's on the down current side. That fish was positioned perfectly. I made a perfect cast right down that little ledge of that jet ski lift. And this is the kind of bass you're gonna catch whenever you come to Pickwick Lake. I mean, this is another just thick, solid, fat fish. These are the ones I like to catch, guys, no doubt about it. Oh, look at that nice Pickwick bass. Flipping a hack attack jig. Man, you sure can't pass up a lay down flipping a jig on it. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. I got him. Oh gosh. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, look at that nice Pickwick bass. Flipping a hack attack jig. You can't go this time of year without a black and blue jig tied on, especially on Pickwick, especially in dirty water. Today, we're at Pickwick Lake. You know, one thing that's going on, the water's high, there's a lot of moving water, So that's when you go to that 1/2 ounce hack attack flipping jig. Black and blue tends to be the color that I go to this time of year, seeing how dirty the water is. The other thing is there's a lot of moving water. So the 1/2 ounce jig keeps your jig from tumbling. And what I mean by that is, what I'm doing is kind of floating this jig around this cover. So when I flip it up in there, I want it to kind of float down the current. That 1/2 ounce jig allows me to do that hack attack flipping jig. And this is the kind of bass you're gonna catch this time of year on a jig. Because you know, the thing is, this time of year, you're gonna catch real fat, nice bass, especially on a jig. So Pickwick is absolutely loaded with largemouth, but it also has big smallmouth bass up around the tail race. Today we're targeting largemouth. We might catch a bonus smallmouth or two, but this is what we're going after today, is these big green bass.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama report. It's brought to you by Experience Paris, and that is Paris, Tennessee. And if you're a sportsman, there's very few places on earth quite like it. Hunting, fishing, boating, camping, you name it, they've got it with great access, high quality opportunities. And if you want to bring your family along, I guarantee you they'll find something they love too. Downtown, shopping, dining, the hospitality is unparalleled. It is a wonderful place to go take a trip, spend some time. You will come back. Check them out online, Experience Paris, Tennessee. Here's a fast report for you. In Mississippi, the night bite on Bay Springs. They're catching big ones over there. Not a lot of bites, it's that time of year, but the nighttime bite is really good. Typical nighttime stuff, we're not reinventing the wheel. Big worm, black and blue jig, black and blue spinner bait. And the swim bait bite's good at night there as well. In Tennessee, we're gonna go to Chickamauga. Fish is small this time of year, but fish the grass near the deep water. I love to punch it with a jig when I can. I love to throw a big swim bait. The middle section to the lower end of the lake. And in Alabama, it's Gunnersville. It's also on the Tennessee River, and it is the exact same thing. Fish the mid section of the lake from North Saudi to South Saudi, and throw a topwater around the edge of the grass, punch a jig, throw a swim bait. A lot of fun. Great time to be here. It's hot. Be careful, stay hydrated, wear your life vest. We love you. God bless.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose. Feel the difference. Waypoint Customs. Customize your boat your way. Strike King. Tie one on. GLACIER Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Fishing Specialties. Makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Oh, there we go. Check it out. That's what you come to Pickwick for, fellas. Oh man, that's a good one. Oh gosh, look, he was right down this debris line. I came in here and there's a little clear water coming in. Oh, stay down, stay down. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Oh, there we go. Man, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Another nice one on the Thunder Cricket. You know, matching the hatch is an important aspect of fishing this lake. You need a little bit larger baits when targeting these nice bass. I mean, look at the belly on this thing. If you notice here behind me though, there's this little creek coming in. It's got clear water in it, and it's mixing with the dirty water. And as you can tell, this lake, like I was saying earlier, is a little bit higher. So you can actually see the debris line that we're fishing on the inside edge of, and it produced a really nice bass. So when you're on your lake, whether it's this lake or another one, if you see muddy and clear water mixing, a lot of times these nice bass will actually use those as ambush points, and you can target them with different baits. In my opinion, you want a bait that's up off the bottom, a moving bait, whether it's a spinner bait, a vibrating jig, a square bill, a lipless crankbait. The possibilities are endless whenever you're talking about catching these bass on these dirty water lines, these mud lines. You know, it's formerly known as a mud line. Pick you up some moving baits, whether it's a Thunder Cricket, a 1.5, get you a black and blue jig, or even just a regular jig. If the water's clear, get you a green pumpkin jig. and fish everything that's in front of you. You can't get too locked in on one particular thing. The more open you keep your mind, the more bass you're gonna catch.
Hey y'all, it's time for your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Hey, it's the end of the summer, but that doesn't mean the fishing is slowing down. Come down, book your trip, visit crazysistermarina.com to book your trip. Come down and live like a local. We can get you out there on private charter boats, head boats, or get a boat and do it yourself. All right here at Crazy Sister Marina. We're going to continue to talk saltwater this week. Let's talk about the incredible king mackerel bite that's going on along the beaches now in North and South Carolina. Johnny Mercer Pier just last week bringing in 7 fish over 25 pounds in one day. It's an incredible bite. You get in on this time of the year as those menhaden get thick. We got some cooler water along the beaches at these inlets where we've gotten some rain, and you're gonna find a lot of fish right now. Also, along with those, you're gonna find tarpon, the Silver King. He's starting to load up down in Charleston, down in Beaufort, and of course at the Georgetown jetties and back in Muddy Bay. You can get out, get some good live mullet, get a balloon, float those baits out, and just get ready for some exciting action. And remember, always bow to that king. Every time he jumps, you go the other way. This has been your Carolinas Report. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Right on the thunder cricket. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at the size of this one. Oh man. I might actually have to grab this one, guys. Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to grab this one. There we go. He's got this thunder cricket choked. Oh, there we go. Check it out. That's what you come to Pickwick for, fellas. That right there, look how he ate that thunder cricket. Just inhaled that thing. You know you're throwing the right cricket when they eat it like that. But let's get this fish back real quick, and I'm gonna tell you how to fish this thunder cricket even more efficiently. All right guys, when you're fishing this thunder cricket or any vibrating jig in current, my equipment actually changes. So if I'm fishing open water or casting around grass or docks, I typically use a Magnum hammer rod. It's a 7.3 medium heavy. It has a lot of whipping action to it. It lets those fish load into it really well. But when you're fishing really heavy current, you've got to adjust your tackle and your reel speed. So in this case, I go to a 7-foot mag bass rod. This is a Pro TI rod. The mag bass rod is available in a lot of different lineups and lues. But the thing is, it's a lot stiffer rod. I use a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio reel with 17-pound tour grade fluorocarbon. You want a very fast reel and you want a really stiff rod for throwing a vibrating jig in current. And the reason is whenever a fish eats it in current, it's gonna start swimming down current with the bait. And if you don't have a fast enough gear ratio and a stiff enough rod, you're gonna lose that fish 9 times out of 10. So if you take that tip and you're fishing in current, make sure you upsize your rod a little bit, upsize your line, and get a little bit faster gear ratio reel, and you're gonna load the boat and miss a whole lot less fish. I learned that lesson a long time ago, and today it still holds true, and it helps me catch more and more bass in these high current situations.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury. Go boldly. Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Get our free fishing guide at orangebeach.com. MotorGuide's Tour Pro with GPS anchor. The tour is back. Blazer, high-performance boats for high-performance anglers.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time now for the Ask the Pro question. This week, Mel wants to know, what are some things you know now that you wished you knew earlier on in your career? To get the answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Drew Benton.
The biggest thing that I've learned and I wish I knew early on is, the more simple you can keep things when we're out here fishing, the better off you are and the more ahead of the game you will be. These fish, they're just wild creatures and they are creatures of habit and they eat worms. I joke around and say that all the time. They're not that smart, so the more you can simplify things and just keep covering water and fish efficiently, you'll be way ahead of the game.
Thanks so much, Drew. If you have a question for one of our pros, if you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com. Follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time to find out who wins this week's Big Catch of the Week.
It's time for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. This week's winner is Ed Burke of Lexington, Tennessee, with a 7 3/4 pound largemouth bass he caught at Beach Lake in Tennessee. To enter the contest, go to letsfishtv.com and click on the Big Catch box on the home page and follow the instructions. Or post your photo on last Tuesday's Big Catch post on our Facebook page at facebook.com/letsfishtv. You could have your big fish shown here on our show.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
This week on Pickwick Lake, we were dealt with a lot of adverse conditions, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we caught them. Started out the day fishing a square bill crankbait, notably a KVD 1.5 in chartreuse and black. I can tell you this, guys, when I go to a body of water I hadn't been to in a while and I'm dealt with conditions like this, one of the first baits I pick up is a KVD 1.5 in chartreuse and black in color. I was roll casting that thing around docks, making sure I connected with those dock posts. When I'd get between docks or even docks that had a lot of cover around, I'd pick up a 1/2 ounce Hack Attack heavy covered jig. I want something black and blue, dark. The water was muddy, it was moving a lot. 25-pound line and a big rod, big Lew's Custom Pro speed stick, and man, I could jack those fish out of that heavy cover. Then we kind of made a move, went to where a really special spot was, where there was some clear water hitting some dirty water. But I can tell you guys, the one thing that was the home run for us today was a Strike King Thunder Cricket, 1/2 ounce in size. And as I told you before, I was using the white blade. And maybe it's just something mental for me, but I really think the white blade gets me more bites, especially in that clear water that we were dealing with. And as you can tell, this has a big trailer on it. This has a full-size caffeine shad. I wanted something that imitated those big gizzard shad the best that I could. And I can tell you guys, one thing that I love is catching them on a vibrating jig. And this Thunder Cricket has definitely become one of my go-tos. Today we fished out of this Low Stinger 198 bass boat. And I want to tell you something, guys. As you can tell, I got 4 rods that I caught these bass on. Thing about it is, this boat has a great rod locker on it. It has 10 rod tubes in it, so I can take all the rods and reels that I need for a given day of fishing. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. Barry's going to be back next week. Until next time, I'll see you on the water.